Good night. Hello. How are you? Okay. Tonight is going to be a very, very silly night. It is a very important lesson that I'm going to teach through a sing song. And that nursery rhyme sing song, I'm going to sing it to you. And I have little props here that I'd like to display. I would like for you to suffer through the torture till the very end, because there's 4 important lessons that come with this nursery rhyme. And the sillier it is, the more you learn, the more you remember, the more you pass it on to other people. Okay, so that's the point of tonight, because the whole idea of the classes I've been teaching is to get you out of the mindset of allopathic medicine, and that's all there is, to get you away from that and into the fact that there is something else in the world. Okay, here goes the song. Some of you, especially if you're older, you probably know the song already. It's called The Little Old Woman Who Swallowed a Fly. And it goes like this. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a spider that wiggled and jiggled and tickled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a bird. How absurd. She swallowed a bird. She swallowed a bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a cat. Imagine that. She swallowed a cat. Let me see if I can get that focused in. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a dog. She swallowed a dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a pig. She swallowed the pig to catch the dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a cow. Oh my gosh, she swallowed a cow. She swallowed the cow to catch the dog. The hog. She swallowed the hog to catch the dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There wasn't a woman who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. Okay, so you can actually look that up on YouTube. It's called The Little Woman Who Swallowed a Fly. And if you want to hear the real rendition of it, this was my quick rendition of it. But the point behind this is, and some of you have already figured out, the point is that quit swallowing the fly, so you don't need to self-medicate by swallowing the spider, and then the bird, and then the cat, and then the dog. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the toxins just keep getting more and more. The self-medication keeps getting more and more. But there's actually a little bit more to that song than that sing song. So most of us are already self-medicating ourselves because we didn't want to self-police ourselves. We're medicating ourselves because we're tired, because we didn't get enough sleep, because we want to stay up on our phones. So we're medicating ourselves with coffee. We allowed our stress to get too much. We allowed the world to come in on us. We got stressed out, so we medicated ourselves with alcohol. I medicate myself with food, specifically potatoes or cereal. Those are my 2 big addictions. I medicate myself with those, typically when I'm frustrated or I'm sad. Or there's something going on in my life I feel out of control with, so I go and eat. There's all sorts of things that you can do, behaviors that you have. Instead of having more discipline or self-policing your actions, instead of doing that, you then self-medicate. And you can notice you're self-medicating when, and some of us self-medicating could be, we roll in our pity. It comes in our mind, and instead of just moving it through and invalidating it, we roll in it and we play in it and we act like it's normal. And then we get sicker and we feel worse. We feel worse. We feel worse. Or it could be as simple as we fought with our husbands over something that we didn't need to fight with our husbands for. These lists can go on and on and on. Our flies could be everything from allowing our kids to stress us out over things that they didn't intend to stress us out over, to as big as I'm not getting enough sleep, or I haven't drank any water in days, or I haven't made time to go to the bathroom, or there's so many little things that we can do to impact ourselves. Now, the second big thing, that's the first thing I want you to get. The second big thing is we keep turning to treatments instead of changing our own behaviors. So instead of mapping out, hey, look, I'm getting, these anxiety or these depression symptoms after I consumed XYZ or PDQ, or in my case, when the night blooming jasmine's going, instead of actually looking for patterns and taking responsibility for my environment and my behavior, it would be easy for me to go get like Wellbutrin or Prozac or something like that. Instead of eating correctly and avoiding things that cause me those things, those feelings, instead it would be easier to go and then get some sort of pharmaceutical. Aspartame is one of the big one that comes to mind. If you go through and lift the side effects of aspartame, it almost reads word for word the side effects of fibromyalgia, but yet no one's saying that. Like no one will call that out and say, hey, this is what we need to do. That brings me to the third point. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a doctor that actually went through these things with you? And, how much aspartame are you consuming? How much MSG are you consuming? Have you mapped this out and related it to something else? I had a small panic attack this morning after I had a glass of coffee and some commercial store-bought creamer. And I noticed that it elevated the coffee. I had it on an empty stomach, and the store-bought creamer, which had a lot of sugar in it, elevated my heart rate. And my mind said, oh, you're having a panic attack. Well, really what I was having was a caffeine attack. And really that doesn't mean anything other than, my body was responding to what I just did to it. And I defined it in my head at first as, oh, you're having a panic attack. Well, I then was like, well, you are belching up coffee and you just did that on an empty stomach, and coffee and commercial, dairy creamer that isn't made from your own cow's milk has this impact on you. So what can you do? And instead of calling it a panic attack, I called it what it was, and a reaction to what I had just consumed. And I put a little salt in my tongue and I went on with my life. Kind of treated it myself and went on with my life, and realized that my problem was my behavior, not necessarily a panic or anxiety attack. Okay, lastly, have you ever noticed that every medication needs a little bit more medication? So by the time you're to the bird, you're gonna have to need the cat, and then you're gonna have to need the dog, and then you're gonna have to need the pig and the cow, and then it's the horse, and you're dead, of course. There's a never-ending cycle to that. When the reality is you should just have avoided the first 4 or 5 steps before it got to the need for a pharmaceutical. And it would be nice if this world functioned on a doctor who looked for dehydration first, who looked for your cortisol levels second, and then instead of just diagnosing you with a hormone imbalance, maybe looked for the catalyst of your hormone imbalance. If you aren't digesting fats, you can expect yourself to have brain fog. You can expect to have vitamin and mineral deficiencies. You can expect your brain not to function well and expect some mental health problems. If you were overtaking magnesium, like if every night you're on this magnesium regimen, have you even considered that magnesium takes zinc and a bunch of other micronutrients to utilize that magnesium? Eventually, you'll end up with a zinc deficiency. And one of the first symptoms of a zinc deficiency is anger and outbursts. What about your children? Have you considered the red dyes and yellow dyes and blue dyes and the impact of these dyes on your children, or the phytoestrogens? Have you even looked in the fact that most commercial milk at the store has aspartame in it? We just talked about aspartame a minute, and it causes a sweet flavor without sugar being in there. The problem with that is that they don't have to label it on our milk because it's too small of a minute quantity. But if your child has a reaction to that, it's a big, big deal. And what I want you to start thinking about is that symptoms that our body gives us are not necessarily something we're trying to cure. They're basically like little red lights telling us something's going on and our body needs attention. We need, to fulfill a deficiency, or we need something. And I just kind of want you to reshape that mindset. So when you go to serve someone else or go to talk to someone else about their issues, I want you to kind of first think, what is it that this person is lacking? Is it sleep? Is it sunlight? Is it water? I mean, are they well hydrated? Like, those are the basics. How long has it been since they pooped? What is it their poop like? What are their sensitivities? What are they allergic to? Have they consumed those or been exposed to those recently? Those basics are going to help you go very, very far in this world. We'll get into some other things, like there are very few things that can make us sick. And typically things like allergies or our body throwing a temper tantrum because it was already overworked. There's a whole lot to communicate here. I'm starting off with these little basic steps because I'm trying to reframe your train of thought, just try to get you in the fact that God did not strike you down with an illness. You are schizophrenic. You know, you have fibromyalgia. That's not how this works. Something happened somewhere along the lines, something made imbalance in your body, and then you went off that direction. And the majority of the time, not all the time, majority of the time, it's your behavioral choices. It's your choices in food. It's your choices in liquids. It's your choices in environment. It's your choices on what stresses you bring onto yourself. You know, if you have a big fancy house and the mortgage is more than you can handle and you're having to work 2 and 3 jobs to keep it, that's a choice that you've made. You can absolutely give that up. You can absolutely go down to something smaller. There are some things that are not your choice, and I get that, and I respect that. I have a lot of things in my life that are not my choice, but we can reframe those things. We can say, so I have no communication with my mother or father. And that's my choice. And I recognize that it's my choice. I can let it eat me up, or I can say, look, I've made a conscious choice. And I can, you know, be okay with that conscious choice. And it takes a lot to get there. But there is a point where you can get there. And there are things you can do to help. And so tonight was silly, and I get that. But I'm hoping that it kind of reframed your mind. It kind of gave you some words to what you've probably already been feeling. Okay. Love you guys. And I'm going to try to get out a video a day for a while. And I have some really special news. So Grace, I don't know if you guys know, was it Red Pill Rev on Instagram, is joining me here very, very shortly. She was supposed to join me here tonight, but I don't think she was feeling very well. But she will be joining me soon. And I think Bethany Irby is going to be joining me soon. And all of my girls will be joining me with all of the different farm things we're doing. So those will not be required for the midwifery program. However, they will be available to those that are future midwives that want to take them anyway. So Katie is going to start doing a home dairy 101, and Mary Ella is going to be home goat dairy 101, and we're going to be doing a lot of wild harvesting. We've been planning it today, and I'm so excited. And I have about 2,000 herbs here that we need to go through and start talking about. So thank you for sticking around, and I look forward to working with you. Bye.